No hay ninguna permanencia, no hay ningún refugio.
There is no permanent residence, no refuge, and no one who can be considered a safe third country because they are all just in transit.
That's Guatemalan President Bernardo Arévalo on August 19th, addressing reports that more than 2,000 Mexican nationals have been deported from the United States to Guatemala in the last year. I'm your host, Roman Gressier. On today's episode, the U.S. quietly deports Mexican migrants to Guatemala, Honduras, and Costa Rica. Trump uses travel visas to punish critics and reward allies. And a former advisor to the president of Honduras is arrested in Bolivia on charges of attempted femicide. From the studios of El Faro English, this is Central America in Minutes.
In Nicaragua, the house arrest of Daniel Ortega's brother
relates more to El Salvador and Honduras than to Guatemala. In the case of Guatemala,
globalism comes to die at CIPA, and in El Salvador, it's already dead.
Central America in Minutes, an original podcast by El Faro English.
According to CBS News, in the last year, the Trump administration has been quietly deporting Mexican migrants to Guatemala and Honduras. Last year, the Guatemalan government signed an agreement with the U.S. to accept deported Central Americans and migrants of other nationalities. But Arévalo framed the deal as not being the same as the controversial, quote, safe third country agreements of Trump's first term. At a press conference last week, Arévalo acknowledged the Mexican arrivals, but offered no further details about this agreement with the U.S. He indicated that Mexican deportees are transferred out of Guatemala within 24 hours, with the costs covered by the Mexican government or, in some cases, with U.S. funding. Mexico's foreign secretary said in a statement, quote, "The Mexican government has communicated its opposition to this practice to U.S. authorities and reiterated that every Mexican citizen has the right to enter the country," close quote. Mexico has requested criminal charges over the death of 17 people in U.S. immigration custody. This is almost entirely punitive, Adam Isaacson, a researcher at the Washington Office on Latin America, told CBS News. As El Faro English has reported, since Donald Trump returned to the White House, every country in Central America has accepted people deported by the U.S. from third countries: Guatemala, Honduras, Costa Rica, Panama, El Salvador, Belize, and Nicaragua. According to Reuters, the Honduran government's Center for Returning Migrants has not received any Mexican citizens, and its foreign ministry said it had no information on the matter. But Human Rights First confirmed to Reuters the deportation of about 200 Mexicans to Honduras. In the last 2 weeks, according to the Associated Press, 117 Mexicans deported from the United States arrived in San Pedro Sula, Honduras' second city. That same report also indicates that, since Trump's return to office, Costa Rica has received at least 11 Mexican nationals. El Faro is a bilingual news site born in El Salvador almost 3 decades ago and now in exile. For independent journalism on and from Central America, subscribe to the El Faro English newsletter at ELFARO, that's elfaro.net/EM. The United States is weaponizing its visa system to reward allies and punish critics across the Americas, recent reporting shows. While previous U.S. administrations used visa bans to punish foreign officials accused of corruption or undermining democratic institutions, the Trump administration has turned the visa system into a regional stick to punish countries in line with its so-called Monroe Doctrine. The term is the Trump administration's spin on the Monroe Doctrine, the 19th century policy aimed at keeping foreign powers out of the Americas. Today, Washington is using visa sanctions to reinforce U.S. influence in the region and punish those seen as helping China or Russia expand their presence. In Costa Rica, after 2 lawmakers criticized a 2025 presidential decree banning Huawei and other Chinese 5G vendors, the State Department revoked their U.S. visas. Earlier this year, 5 of the 7 board members of the newspaper of record, La Nación, also had their visas revoked as the newspaper maintained critical coverage of former President Rodrigo Chávez, a close Trump ally in Central America. In Panama, 2 politicians criticized a sweeping security agreement between their country and the United States in June 2025. Days later, they were notified that their U.S. visas had been pulled. Former diplomats told the New York Times that the Trump administration's approach represents a sharp break from how Washington historically dealt with the region. But the administration is not only punishing critics, it is also rewarding political allies. El Salvador, where President Nayib Bukele has emerged as one of Trump's closest regional allies, is a good example. Under the Biden administration, the United States sanctioned dozens of Central American officials it considered corrupt or anti-democratic through measures associated with the Engel list. Now, 3 high-profile Salvadoran officials have regained their visas. Travel records reviewed by the New York Times show that all 3 have entered the United States since July 2025. Bukele's press secretary, Ernesto Sanabria, was sanctioned in 2022 for allegedly pressuring opposition officials to resign under threat of criminal charges. Cristian Guevara, leader of Bukele's legislative caucus, was sanctioned that same year after introducing legislation criminalizing certain media coverage of gangs. He has traveled to the U.S. 3 times since September 2025. Javier Argueta, then a legal advisor to Bukele, was sanctioned in 2022 for his role in the unconstitutional removal of judicial officials in 2021. He told the New York Times that his visa had been restored. In August 2025, he posted a photo on X while eating at a U.S. fast food restaurant with his family. He added Salvadoran and American flag emojis for good measure. Every week, Central American Minutes gets you up to speed on our region in under 10 minutes. And we're now syndicated on Pacifica Network radio stations across the United States. Tune in on KPFA and participating affiliate stations. An Argentine advisor to far-right parties in Central and South America, Fernando Cerimedo, was arrested in Bolivia on charges of attempted femicide against his partner. Bolivian authorities found more than $40,000 in his home and are also investigating him for illicit enrichment. Cerimedo has advised figures like Javier Milei of Argentina and Jair Bolsonaro of Brazil. Last November, before the elections in Honduras, he advised Nasri Asfura, the current president, whom Trump personally endorsed days before the vote. Cerimedo confirmed to the digital outlet Contracorriente that he was behind the strategy that led Trump to explicitly back Asfura. He also said that his close relationship with Dick Morris, Trump's 2016 election advisor, was what connected him to Trump. When he was an advisor to Milei, the Argentine press alleged that Cerimedo had ties to former Trump advisor and lobbyist Roger Stone. Stone was a key lobbyist behind Trump's pardoning of former Honduran President Juan Orlando Hernández, who had been sentenced to 45 years in prison for drug trafficking. He also pushed for U.S. policy in favor of the Guatemalan opposition, calling Arévalo the, quote, Maduro of Guatemala. When asked to confirm by Contracorriente, Cerimedo denied any ties to Stone, but both men were involved in the Honduran National Party lobbying in Washington. The Argentine advisor is also known for running online troll farms, boosting his clients and attacking their opponents. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum accused him of spreading fake news through social media trolls. In an interview with the Argentine newspaper La Nación, he openly admitted to running troll farms, but said they are a valid communication strategy. Quote, people know they exist, so why lie? It's better for them to know who creates and uses trolls and to understand the rules of the game, he said. Cerimedo was invited to the Summit for Electoral Integrity in Guatemala, an event held on Friday, August 28th by the Liga Pro Patria, a far-right organization that, in 2023, supported coup efforts against the elections. Cerimedo was evidently unable to attend. He remains in custody in Bolivia. Thanks for listening to Central American Minutes. This episode was written by Leyrian Colón Santiago, Gabriel Labrador, and Yuliana Ramazzini. Editing by me, Roman Gressier, and sound design by Omnium. Listen along every week on Pacifica Network radio stations. You can also find us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and iHeart podcast platforms. Until next week, hasta pronto.